Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Lucid's Tournament Game 7, where we are playing Helheim. This is turn 52. It's a pretty big turn for us. A couple things happened, so interesting. Let's get things started, shall we? We have completed Construction 6. That's a big deal for us. It's not like all the sudden changing of the world, but it is going to gain us access to a lot of different stuff, which is going to be very, very, very useful for us in the long run. Next up is Conjuration 4. We did not finish Conjuration 4 this turn, but we are very, very close to it. We should be able to blitz through it and Conjuration 5 pretty quick. Cast some Reanimation. We've cast Auspex. We cast Haruspex. And we found a Moonvine Circle. So we're going to go ahead and go check this out real quick. This is important because we get a Nature Gem and an Astral Pearl. Nice. That's always dope. But it also gives us access to Enchanters. Enchanters are slow to recruit, pretty close to old age, I believe. But they are astral, and that's a big deal. And they're astral nature, so a small communion of these can actually get pretty high in nature. So that's pretty nice, honestly. Might not end up being the biggest thing battle magic wise, but it might end up being relatively important in a couple of different. Most importantly though, this is our first recruitable astral mage. We're going to see what we can do about it. Okay? Very big deal. Unfortunately, as far as the rest of our stuff goes, Augury nothing, Dome Lord nothing. Did some Corpseman construction, reanimation, Corpseman construction. Nothing with Haruspex, nothing with Dark Knowledge. And then we had a pretty good round of capturing blood sacrifices. 38 in Sanafe, 22 in Orman, 17 in Tiny Willow. These are good numbers. Very happy with these numbers. And a couple of other things have happened. So we've got some interesting stuff about to develop. There's a battle in Defaros. Us attacking into the throne. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. We have close to 100 Hellheritings, along with some Jade Maidens. We've got our Ice Devils, Semeges, and Oriax. We've got Sigurdriva here, ready to cast hordes of skeletons. And we are up against quite a few Fire Snakes. And interestingly enough, I made the comment last turn, right, that we would probably be okay because most of these things would probably have pretty low skill. Amusingly, most of these things actually have pretty high skill, but it is in part because I forgot that Thrones... I don't know if Thrones just gain experience over time, if that's a natural thing. I would assume that it is, because these things have like 50-ish experience, right? So these things have actually gotten decent attack skill because of their experience bonuses. So that's somewhat interesting. Mainly, these bad boys, the Will-O-Wisps, have very high attack skill compared to a lot of the others. So there's a mixed amount of stuff here. We've got a Flame Spirit, which is interesting. We've got Mehen, the Solar Serpent, which is very high fire, decently high water. Kind of scary. We start off with the Natural Storm, which is going to cause a snowfall, right? Which is going to help diminish the amount of flame that goes on. But really, this is going to be mostly like a Hellheriting fight. So, Hellheritings rush forward and start to do the work. And we actually get some really interesting interactions here. So, un momento. Did that... Oh, it looks like... Okay, so it looks like the Solar Serpent used some gems to summon Fire Elementals and an Ice Elemental. So that's pretty interesting. The Fire Elementals could be a little dangerous. We've got a small... So we've kind of like done a diagonal against the majority of their forces. We've got a small contingent of Hellheritings in the back. Oriax is heading into the back, and then we've got Semeges kind of holding down the line over here. So we're just gonna watch this happen. And now our guys are mostly turning to Raise Dead, Horde of Skeletons, etc. So that's cool. So Auriax runs down. We've got this group of Hellherdings fighting against the Flame Serpent. Auriax runs down and engages the Solar Serpent himself, right? And that's pretty funny. Semeges, for his part, is down here holding off a big group of Scorpion Beasts. And now our line of Hellherdings and Jade Maidens are just crushing down onto the opponents. Very cool. Auriax is dueling duel the Solar Serpent and is just crushing the Solar Serpent. Goodness gracious. Morale broke. I love Semeges over here has actually frozen out between the combination of being in battle, in combat with an Ice Devil for an extended period of time, with the chill and the Vine Shield. It just makes it to where it's so unlikely that you're actually going to do anything to them unless you can resist the chill effect. Okay? And the reason I specify the chill effect and the Vine Shield is because, like, every time you swing, you have a chance to get just, you know, stuck by the Vine Shield. But while you're stuck by the Vine Shield, you're still taking fatigue damage from the chill, right? And then eventually you just get to this point to where you're chilled, you're fatigued out, and it's just, you're just fucked. Really interesting. Alright, so we won, and it looked like we won that pretty handily. And we did. We lost 11 Hellherdings, 2 Jade Maidens, nothing else. Found an enormous cauldron of broth. Very cool. That's a pretty nice win for us. We could have lost quite a few more Hellherdings, and that would have hurt pretty badly. Hellherdings are the majority of our strength at the moment, so losing a significant number of them would have been rough. Alright, so what else do we got going on? We have a couple of unexpected events. We've got armies have put... Okay, so yay, Ancient Woods. Your armies have been put to the task of purging the province from cult worship. Followers have been harassed and arrested on scarce evidence. Sacred groves have been burnt and parts of the forest put to the axe. In spite of this, the cult persists. But, that being said, I think it is done. I should probably look it up. The bookmark is gone. So I think we're done, but I think it can crop back up. I'm not sure. I should probably look up the event chain, but I don't really want to right now. In Lyratos, we've got Dominion of Growth and Fertility is strong. We get some population and some income. Very cool. And then in Dead Forest, a great treasure has been found. A fortune in gold, 1 magic item, and a huge amount of magic gems have been found and transported to the Arcane Lab. A metric fuck ton of gold. So, for about 4,000 gold, a Knife of the Damned, and a good chunk of gems, mostly fire. That is amazing. That might be the highest gold event I've ever seen. I'm not sure. It's really big. That's a lot of money. And we're gonna blow through it almost immediately. For quality of life. So we witness a battle in Blue Moss. Some Ivy King men against some Avite warriors, just PD from Hinnom. We discovered a scout. So, very cool. And then we did a bunch of patrolling. Alright, we've got a whole bunch of money. I've spent basically money everywhere I can, and I still have 448 gold left, which is fine because we've got other plans in the near future. We're immediately setting down labs in Orman and in Sanafe. I talked about that in the past, the concept of to make my blood economy more efficient, it's better to have blood hunting on lab sites, because then the blood hunters put the sacrifices directly into the lab. You don't have to wait a turn to have them ferried to a lab location. So we are going to do that. We're going to take a turn with 4 blood hunters in Sanafe and Ormond, and then 2 people building labs. That means our scouts are freed up, so I'm immediately sending them out in different directions. So that will be good. We are immediately building everything that we can in Defaros. Okay, so we're building a temple, a lab, and a palisade in Defaros. We are actually taking all of the Hellhirdings. We're only leaving the Jade Maidens here. Taking all of the Hellhirdings and Oriax and Semejas and Gerskogel. We're actually jumping up to Forest of Long Nights. Abyssia has warned me that Tirnanog might be aiming for 87 shortly. Tirnanog still does not have a throne, or does not have, like, to my understanding, they only have a prophet and a god, right? And they do not have access to other H3s at this moment, as far as I'm aware. But I don't know if they have the ability to do a throne rush. With the requirement of needing 4 thrones, I'm not super worried, but Abyssia is worried. And what I think more specifically, I think Abyssia is trying to get me to fight Tirnanog, which I'm not completely against the concept. But I am heading up towards Robberholm just in case, so I can respond if I need to. Okay? And up to Robberholm is close to Sarmatia. I can head that direction. That's it. Okay, what else are we doing? Well, honestly, we're kind of spending most of our gold just recruiting the shit out of things, right? Van Jarls and Heerdmen in basically everywhere. A Herse in Hohenberg. We're getting another Jade Sorceress and Jade Maidens in Dead Forest. We're getting more Hellhirdings. More Van Jarls and Herdmen, more Van Jarls and Heerdmen. And we're actually sending out Com 2 and probably no reason to send both, I guess. Let's research with him. So we're sending out Com 2 to Zimria. I guess it's... Yeah, we'll send him. So we're sending them both out to Zimria because next turn I could produce a lab, and I could start recruiting an enchanter. It would take several turns for me to get the first one, but the sooner I get that started, the better. And we could also get a palisade started, right, so that I can start recruiting those 2 or 1 every other turn, basically. I don't know if we want to mass produce them, honestly. They get kind of expensive as far as upkeep costs go, which is the concern. But it's the only astral that I have aside from my god, so it seems like a decent enough concept to go for at least 1 or 2 of them to start with. But we're gonna do that. Other than that, actually, aside from just spending a shit ton of money this turn, the main focus is gear. We are binding another Ice Devil this turn. We are going to be able to... We've easily got 60 blood sacrifices in Ormond and 60 blood sacrifices in Sanafe. So we are definitely going to be able to bind another Ice Devil next turn. Okay? The turn after that will depend on the next 2 turns' income. But it is possible that for the next 4 turns, I might be able to just Ice Devil, Ice Devil, Ice Devil, Ice Devil. And that would be pretty cool. Bagging these 6 Ice Devils and then moving on would be pretty nice. We've already seen kind of some of the power of the Ice Devils. Very high survivability, very good thugging options, etc., etc. So, very happy about that. So that's goal 1. Goal 2 goes to outfitting things. So we're looking at what gear we have, what we need to have moving forward, right? We are forging more dwarven hammers. We are forging things like armor of the knights now. We are continuing to forge things like storm spools. We are continuing to site search. I want to get as much of my stuff site searched as I can. That's important over the next couple turns because that will see us into the rest of the game, basically. We are forging a couple of different items that we haven't been forging before, like the armor of the knights. We're forging some stars of thraldom. Let's take a look at this real quick. So specifically, why are we forging something like a star of thraldom? Well, 1, we are forging it because it's a cheap item, right? We can make these for 3 air gems. 2, we are forging them because they are high attack items. Okay? 3, we are forging them because they are higher attack items versus a shield. So this comes in at attack 8 versus a shield, and it can false fetters, which is shackling a person, right? And what that means is a unit, say a Van Jarl, for example, right? Let's say a base Van Jarl, no experience bonus. So a base Van Jarl of 14 attack skill, right? With a Star of Thraldom against a shield, they have a 22 attack, right? You throw something like a Ring of the Warrior on them, and then they have a 27 attack, okay? And a Ring of the Warrior is almost minuscule in the amount of resources it takes to make. 3 air gems is still 3 air gems, right? We don't want 50,000 of them, but basically I'm experimenting with different options on cheap ways to kill Tirnanog thugs, right? One of the ways is to try to just get around their incredibly high defense, right? And one of the ways you can do that is with incredibly high attack. Another thing that you can do is ranged damage to try to pop their glamour, stuff like that. So we've got a couple of different. I've got a couple of different ideas. I'm gonna experiment with making different options via forging. We're gonna try to see how that goes. We are continuing to produce things like Rings of Regeneration and I guess we're not doing a Divine Shield this turn. So we've got there are a bunch of different things that I'm interested in making. This is another reason why I'm continuing to make Dwarven Hammers, is because I had to cut back on what I wanted to make this turn because I didn't have enough hammers. So we're probably going to take another turn or 2 of hammers, maybe 3 of hammers, and then go back to not producing hammer. But it's a sound investment. So another reason is because now we've got lightless lanterns on a stick, so we're going to produce those. One of the only reasons I didn't immediately put all of these guys on lightless lantern duty is because we only have 35 fire gems. We wouldn't have had that much if we had not gotten that event. But more specifically, we only have 2 income per month, and I'm trying to let Augury get lucky for us and get some fire sites before we're just like, okay, everyone lightless lanterns, right? Also, probably what I'm going to do with the next couple Dwarven Hammers is produce more lightless lanterns. So we'll see how it goes. Research-wise, we should be finishing Conjuration 4, and then we won't finish Conjuration 5, but we will be very close to it. So the following turn, we'll finish Conjuration 5, and then we're jumping up Blood 7. So Blood 7 will get us access to Archdevils. And things like Father Ill-Earth, although I don't know if we're going to have access to that anymore. We've been kind of slow getting up. We could get into Curse of Blood. We can do a lot. Like, Blood 7 is where, if we so choose, we can just burn the earth down trying to just do blood stuff. Do blood stuff. And another big thing, we are starting the forging of water bracelets. That's actually one of the reasons why I'm recruiting a Jade Sorceress. I need another Jade Sorceress on hand to give a water bracelet to start casting. We'll actually be getting this turn to start casting Voice of Apsu. But just having some more water casters would be pretty cool. We could actually, again, we've talked about this in the past, we can give Ice Devils a water bracelet. Suddenly they're water 4. We can give them a, what is it, a Robe of the Sea? Is that what it's called? Yeah, it's like a Robe of the Sea, and that's another water one, so then they're water 5. And water 5 can actually do most of the big water things, which would be pretty cool. We could even, if we could get an underwater province, which maybe we could attack Femoria and take this underwater province, or maybe we could just, like, buy it off of Femoria, or just, like, I don't know, trade it off of them. We could potentially cast, I don't know, a bunch of different stuff, honestly. We could do, like, no one else is really, like, looking into this type of stuff, I would assume. We could do something like Maelstrom, right? Like, it would not be hard for us to get up to Water 6, and we could do Maelstrom. Like, it's not bad. I don't know that that's something that we really care about, though. Anyways, that is mostly it for the turn. Very big turn for us. I'm interested to see where things go over the course of the next few turns. Keep in mind, next turn is our last guaranteed turn of peace with Calum. We'll have to be seeing where that leaves us. And I think that's going to be it for the turn. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye, everybody.